video, we're gonna talk about cultural imperialism and global media debate. But let's discuss what this cultural imperialism is. Cultural imperialism refers to the domination or influence exerted by one culture or nation over others, primarily through the export and imposition of its cultural values, beliefs, practices, language, and media products on other societies. And now, let's go further to the early stage of a cultural imperialism. Researchers mainly look at the countries as the main players in the global relationships. They thought that rich and developed and Western countries were intentionally sending their cultural products and social cultural values to poorer or less powerful countries in the developing world. They had evidence to support this idea, like studies showing that news and entertainment mostly came from Western countries and went to developing nations. But not only as does more content from West, but it often didn't portray the developing nation positively. And the issue became arise because people were worried about the unequal flow of news and entertainment between the richer and poorer countries. They started to discussing in New World Information Communication Order, which later expanded to include all the kinds of global media. Originally, it was about how news moved between developed and less developed countries, but it grew to involve all international media because there was an imbalance in both news and entertainment. The discussion broadened as new technologies like communication satellites made the world media situation more complicated. In 1973, at the meeting organized by UNESCO in Nairobi, Kenya, the global media debate began. UNESCO, part of United Nations, focuses on communication and culture. During this conference, a significant disagreement arose between Western developed nations and developing countries. The United States led the first group pushing for free flow of information, essentially a free trade of information and media without any restriction. On the other side, the developing countries were worried about the unequal distribution of international media and accused the Western nations of using free flow of information and in the idea of the maintain their economic and cultural control. They wanted a more free and balanced flow of information. The gap between these two stances was too large to bridge, leading to the United States and United Kingdom withdrawing from UNESCO. In this event, is marked at decline of the global media debate. There was a renewed interest in reviving in the New World Information and Communication Order debate. This research took a different approach compared to earlier cultural imperialism ideas. Instead of focusing mainly on the influence of nation-states and flowed images, this new perspective emphasized the commercialization of culture, and researchers started to pay more attention to transnational corporations as influential actors, shifting away from exclusive focus of nation-states and look how money moves globally, not just information, even though it's challenging to completely separate the power of transnational corporation from nation-state to differentiate clearly between the capital flows and media flows, and this shift emphasis represented a redirection in going of debate rather than complete change for fundamental ideas. In certain international communication circles, it's trendy to criticize cultural imperialism as simplistic theory lacking nuance and being increasingly challenged by actual research. While cultural imperialism does have its weaknesses, it remains valuable.